everybody, Storm with you here, and in today's guitar lesson we're going to do a chord study, a melody note chord study using the note E on the 2nd string 5th fret. Now usually when you think of an E chord we think of an E major chord or an E minor chord or an E 7th chord. Keep in mind that when you play a chord it's made up of more than just that one note, at least 3 or more notes in that chord. So rather than thinking from the lowest note, E, and thinking what notes we want to stack on top, this idea is more of the kind of idea you might use if you were playing a chord melody style of guitar, like jazz guitar, but it's really got a lot of applications in being a good rhythm guitarist. The idea of, well, I've got this E note that I want to have in my chord, to realize that you could place any bass note underneath that chord, and that's the study that we're going to do. So let's check it out. Okay, so what we're doing here is I'm going to play this E note, the 2nd string 5th fret, and what I'm going to do is place every possible bass note underneath it. So to get an idea, it would look like this. I'm going to have the E note on the bass with the E note on the top. I'm also going to then try the D sharp note with the E note on top, and so on. D, and I'm just going down chromatically here in the bass. Now to C sharp with the E note. And the exercise is, after going through all of these possible notes, I might have to change strings here to get all the possible notes. But the idea would be to try and find chords that include that bass note along with that melody note. And it sounds pretty cool just with those 2 notes, very kind of classical sounding, but let's try and harmonize it with some more, a fuller, fleshed out harmony. Lots of possible choices, but here's what I came up with. Alright, so those were by no means the only choices possible, but it just goes to show that just because you've got an E note, to say you couldn't use a D sharp in the bass. Now some of these are going to be fairly tense, so notice I'm using a clean tone for this exercise, not too much distortion, though you could try it with distortion and see if you like it, but because there's going to be some tension here, doing this exercise might try it without distortion first. If you have questions or comments on the lesson, I would love to hear them. Just click through the video description, should have a link to guitarteacher.com with the web page and sheet music examples. And if you want extra attention, personal attention, I'd love to hear from you as part of my coaching program for guitar. And there should also be a link for that in the video description as well. So till next time, have fun.